Hello everyone, my name's Avery Meller, your local real estate guide here in London, Ontario. In the past 10 years, home prices have almost tripled. They're around $250,000 and now we're nearing $700,000. And just 5 years ago, you could purchase a detached home for less than $300,000 in a decent neighborhood. In this video, we're going to be talking about where you can find some beautiful detached homes for less than $400,000. We're also going to be looking at some worse areas where you can purchase these homes, where you're going to find a ton of them. We're going to go over the schools nearby, the different amenities, the major streets nearby so you can get quick access to work or the 401. And like I said, my name's Avery Meller. I'm a realtor here in London, Ontario with Thrive Realty. I help people move in from London, whether you're coming in from Calgary, Vancouver, Burlington, Toronto, Muskoka, wherever, reach out to me. I also help people relocate within the city to find their dream home in this beautiful city we like to call the Forest City. First off, let's chat about the Hamilton Road area. This area in London is notorious for being underdeveloped and poorly kept, but it's the cheapest place in London to buy homes by a long shot. You can actually find some pretty neat gems off of Hamilton Road, but with that being said, you'll have the higher crime rates than the rest of London. If you go to Toronto, if you go to Calgary, like I was saying earlier, you're going to find detached homes. The cheapest ones are going to be in the worst areas, so that's just something you're going to have when you're looking for a cheap place. If you want to up your budget, then sure, you'll find a much better location. But in terms of less than $400,000, you're going to be pretty limited. Don't expect to be going for a walk and you're going to get shot in the head. It's more petty crimes like a bike being stolen or cars being checked at night. But the further down the streets you get, the better the houses are. If you're right along Hamilton Road, I find the crime rates are going to be a bit higher than if you're taking some side streets. Right now, we're taking a drive down Highbury and Hamilton and Egerton-Hamilton area. You can actually find some very well-priced homes on the east side of Hamilton Road around Gore Road. However, there isn't much for less than $400,000. Most of those homes are around the $500,000 range, so we'll save that for another video. But right here, just west of Highbury, you'll find a ton of detached homes for less than $400,000. This home actually sold in May of 2024 for $385,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath with around 1,000 square feet in a detached single-car garage. It appears to be move-in ready, which is a great option for first-time homebuyers and investors. Up next, we're talking about the east part of South Crest, close to Warrencliffe Road. Now, this is right in between Warrencliffe and Horton and Warrencliffe and Commissioners. This area is close to downtown, which obviously comes with its pros and cons, but it's very affordable. I like this area more than the previous one along Hamilton Road. You'll find many homes in this area selling for below $400,000 on streets like Emery, Langarth, Briscoe, Tecumseh, Cliftonville, and Elmwood. Majority of these homes were built in the 1910 to 1920 range, making them century homes. However, there's also homes built in the 1940s and 50s, which are a little bit newer, obviously. A vast majority of these homes are 1 and 1.5 story homes with either no basement or an unfinished basement. But there are exceptions with some 2-story homes and with those with finished basements. And it's nice because you're near Springbank Park, White Oaks Mall, and downtown. So it's not a bad location in terms of proximity to major areas as well as major streets. This home was sold in March of 2024 for $360,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath corner lot with 167 feet deep. It's very close to 100 Kellogg's Lane, which is a massive entertainment complex with tons of different things like restaurants, golf, museum, arcade, trampoline park, and more. Now, as you've seen, I've been popping up the school ratings of the schools you'd be heading to if you live in this area, and I'll continue doing that for the following areas. But I did want to mention, obviously you're not going to find the best schools in these areas with detached homes below $400,000, but there's still some decent schools you can pick and choose from in the area. Now, the next we're going on to is called East London and Old East Village. This is just west of Highbury and Dundas in Highbury and Bridges. Fairly close to Hamilton Road, and Dundas Street is similar to Hamilton in terms of reputation. Dundas Street is where you're going to find a ton of homelessness in London. I'd argue maybe even more than Hamilton Road, but very, very similar. The next location I'm going to talk about is my favorite on the list, where you're going to find a little bit less of that. Like I said, you're not going to deal with major crimes. There's a ton of people that I know who live in the area who have never dealt with crimes, but there's also people that have. So a majority of it's going to be petty crimes. You're going to have a lot of homelessness, but that's like everywhere in London where you're going to find cheaper homes. Besides the next area I'm going to mention, which is a little bit better, but obviously it's not a Masonville or a Kilworth or anything like that. The nice thing is, in this area, is you're close to Highbury, which is a major street here in London, which you can take to connect to the 401 or head north to Port Stanley. You'll also be using Highbury for a majority of your communications if you're living in this area. Most of these homes were built in the 1950s, so they're a bit newer than the part of South Crest we were just talking about, but it's obviously still old homes. These homes are, 70, 80 years old on average. This home, located at 225 Cathcart, is currently for sale with a list price of $399,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, newly renovated and move-in ready. Finally, we're going to be talking about my favorite location to scoop up detached homes below $400,000. I would consider this area just south of central London. What I'm talking about here is west of Hamilton and Adelaide, streets like Maitland, South, William, Simcoe. Here you're going to find homes that are better than the first 3 locations that I mentioned earlier in this video. I actually find a ton of these homes hitting the market and have been completely renovated with beautiful kitchens, appliances, windows, all that kind of stuff. A lot of them are even move-in ready if you're a first-time home buyer, but then there's still the ones that need fix-up where you can force equity and appreciation for investors. One reason these homes are so cheap is because they're so old. These homes were built in the late 1800s, and I'm talking like 1870s to 1890s, which makes some of these homes close to 150 years old. Now, I'm not saying this area is amazing and better than any location you'll find, but I'd say it's a hidden gem in terms of finding detached homes below $400,000. They're located in a much quieter neighborhood with less of a crime rate than Hamilton Road, Dundas, and the Warncliffe area. You have the same benefits of living in the east part of South Crest, being close to downtown, White Oaks Mall, Springbank, and Wortley Village. This home, I've actually been inside. It sold in the area for $375,000 in June of 2024, so just a month ago. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath with extremely modern finishes. It's an 800 square foot move-in ready home in Old North. Once again, perfect for first-time home buyers or even investors. I wanted to let you know that I have included a first-time home buyer's guide in the description below. Obviously, go like, subscribe, comment. Gives me some support for the video so I know to keep making things like this. But also you can grab that free first-time home buyer's guide below. I wanted to give it to you for free just because you made it so far in the video, so thank you. For this video, I was talking about detached homes below $400,000. This can make some good investments and perfect for first-time home buyers. The mortgage on these will be $1,500 to $2,200, depending on your down payment and depending on whether it was, a $330,000 house or a $400,000 house. Rent, you could get anywhere from $2,000, $2,200 on the low end, all the way up to $3,000 if you get creative and doing things like student rentals or making it a duplex. If you want to dive deeper into affordable townhouses and high-rise condos, let me know. I'll create another video about that. We'll look at properties in the $200,000 to $400,000 range. Obviously, you're not getting detached homes. It's going to be more so high-rises downtown, or you might find some townhomes in different kinds of areas in London as well. Honestly, there's some townhomes in that price range in the north and northwest London area. So just let me know. Obviously, that's going to come with its cons of not being able to make alterations to the exterior, additional condo fees, being attached to people, having neighbors, all that kind of stuff. But then it comes with the pros of having some stuff taken care of if you're paying condo fees off. There are much more cheap homes in London, Ontario, different areas that I didn't even mention. But this is where you're going to find the most density. This is where the most opportunity is going to be. You might find a home, for $380,000, but it's once a year in that location. Whereas this, you're going to find high density and often there's homes available already. Send me a message or give me a call if you're interested in looking at homes in London or the surrounding area, whether that be Belmont, Kilworth, St. Thomas, Ilderton, Kamoka, whatever it may be. Shoot me a message. I'll be sure to help you out.